Today I have with me Megha Mocherla, who is joining us from San Francisco Bay Area and who is also a fashion designer, a graphic designer, and a Madhubani artist. How would you like to describe yourself and your work?
So I would like to describe myself as somebody who just loves to have fun. For me, work does not really mean work. It's something I really like to do. So growing up, I would love to paint or do something, be creative. I was always creative. So hence I took fashion design eventually, and then after I moved to the US, I also was a mom. So that took a while, and then I just had a gap, and then now I'm pretty much back and trying to get a foothold, trying to decide on what really I want to do. And I stumbled upon Madhubani, which was just a year ago, actually a little more than a year ago. And that's when I decided, I just started doing small little paintings. I got introduced to it by a friend, and I just decided that maybe this is something that I can do. It doesn't take too much time, and from there there's no looking back, and here I am.
So, what was your childhood like? Do you think those experiences have somehow contributed in you becoming an artist today?
Of course, yes. So a lot of my mom's family also paints. My mom used to do it herself. She was very creative. She would make a lot of things from things around the house. She would actually even stitch my dresses. So she was pretty creative. So I think somewhat is genetic. So I kind of inherited the creative genes from there. And when we were kids, there was not so much of internet. We never saw so much TV. So how I used to keep myself amused was through just sketching something, doing something, waiting in lines, or maybe I'm traveling by train, I would sketch. I would go anywhere. I would just keep scribbling here and there. And then my mom decided that I was pretty good at this, and then she even made me learn it not professionally, but then drawing classes and stuff like that. So I was always encouraged as a child to draw and paint. And as you grow up, you kind of forget your hobbies and you get into the usual education and stuff like that. So that particular portion of my life where I was in college, I kind of gave up and then started looking at other avenues on where I'm good or not. So I would say my childhood definitely has been a very important encouragement to what I am today. And I think more now, what inspires me more is when I look at other people's work, or, when I see other artists, what inspires them, or in general, I think now inspiration is there everywhere. It's just you need to pick it up and do something. So there are a lot more places where you can get inspired now.
That's awesome. So, in your opinion, what is the most important and crucial part of an artist's work?
Most important and crucial part, I would say, is how you love doing what you do. I think if you don't like and you don't put your heart and soul into your pieces, it will not resonate very well with your audiences. Like, if you create something that is personal to you, I think that's when you can explain, like, why I created this artwork with a lot more passion. And I think that's what eventually people like also. Like, you're basically putting your life out there for people to kind of visualize, and how creative you are in your thought process, or what you want to tell through your artwork. I think just everyday things in life, like some memory in childhood, something that you like, your favorite drink or coffee, anything. So I think that's what's important.
Do you think your career as a fashion and a graphic designer has given your art some form of inspiration?
Yes, definitely. Of course. So as a fashion designer, there was already a lot of illustration to be happening. So we do illustrate a lot. So there is a lot of sketching involved. But then I think in fashion illustrations, we are generally more, we're just like, we just want to put a concept into paper, and then we just want the other person to understand it. So we are not very intricate. I think with graphic designing, again, since it's all on the computer, it's a completely different craft. I don't think anybody has to be a traditional, artist to be a graphic designer. I think anybody can be a graphic designer if you're really good at it and you know how to use the software very well. So I think To an extent, yes. And I think as an artist, I think towards I've been practicing Madhubani for a while now. However, I'm not doing the traditional Madhubani. My Madhubani is a lot more contemporary. So if you look at the traditional Madhubani, that's a lot more different, and my work is a lot more maybe modernized, or it's about things that people like to see in today's world, like in general. So it's a culmination of both. So that's something I'm trying to kind of evolve as an artist, like my own personal style and what really people like in terms of what they want to see. So yeah, I'm still kind of experimenting in that area.
Because it is your niche, what draws you the most to the Madhubani form of art?
Actually, initially I started Madhubani because I thought it was less time consuming, because when you look at other folk forms of art, not and generally I don't practice the traditional forms of Madhubani again, because that again is very tedious, using a lot of nib and ink and stuff like that. So I just had basic supplies when I started. It was just any kid, any mom with kids would have markers, would have paper, pencils, and stuff. So I started with the very basic elements, and I thought Madhubani was very much doable with those particular materials that I had, and I did. And as I started involving myself more into the art form, I obviously my stationery also has increased. But I still think right now I work really well with just basic supplies, and I don't use a lot of paintbrush anyway, because I don't want a mess. I want a place that I put my 1 hour in, and I want that place clean within the next 5 to 10 minutes. I don't have that much space in my house where I can dedicate a whole room to my art. So I need a thing that you can just go back into a box really quickly. So initially, that's what I liked about Madhubani, is that everything is basic. It's not like, even in the figures, if you see, they're not very perfect. So imperfections are welcome. So I thought, yeah, this is something that I can try, because it's not aiming to perfection. Things that can be done in a folk art form. I think that's the giveaway of any folk art form. Nothing is perfect. The imperfections are always welcome, and I think that's what really gravitated me towards the folk art.
That's a really interesting take on it. Name three artists who
Yeah.
you have been an inspiration in your work and in your life.
Name three artists. Oh my God, I have so many inspirations. I think I get inspired by every artist I see. There is something unique about each one of them. Um, Amongst the newer ones, it's hard for me to name, because I follow so many artists and so many other folk art forms. In terms of Madhubani, also there's Bharti Dayalji, then there is the Karn brothers and stuff. They are all like really, really different art forms, and I think I get inspired by each artist. Like, they all have a different take to their art, and they're so unique. Like, there are certain things that I know that I can never do, and I don't think I'll ever be able to do it, but I would love to. So I think as over time grows and you keep exploring new and new people, I think there are so many more artists that keep inspiring me on a daily basis. So just naming three would be it would be unfair.
According to you, why does art play an important role in shaping the society around us and also influencing our culture?
uh, Art definitely does influence society. I think art directly depicts your state of mind right now. So if you're drawing happy things, everybody around you is happy. If you're drawing things that the society is kind of struggling to do, like there was the whole COVID pandemic that happened. I mean, it's still on, and we are getting major variants again. But I'm trying to say that when people start painting things and saying, this virus is kind of wiping out so many people are affected by it. So I think it pretty much kind of tells you the state of mind your people are in, or you are in as an artist also. So if there are happy things coming from you, the artist is happy. If there are depressing things, dark things, that okay, they're going through a very dark phase in their life. So I think art pretty much depicts what people are thinking right now, their mental mindset, their culture, their makeup. So I mean, not just Madhubani, in everything else, I think art pretty much kind of portrays how a particular set of people are thinking and what changes are they wanting to bring through their art. So because a lot of major movements require art, they want people to kind of, because I think a picture tells 1,000 words, so you don't need like a whole page with instructions to say, what are you trying to be. So just a small smiley face is enough to make someone happy. So I feel that um, graphically makes a huge difference in one's mood. So definitely art plays a huge it is important for sure, in terms of how people feel and how the culture is feeling. And yeah.
Describe the moment when you got to know that you had been featured as Artist of the Month in Madhubani Cultures magazine.
Oh, I was excited. Actually, I was not even expecting it. And I got a text from this person and they said, what, we would like to feature you and would you like to be a part of it? And I was like, of course. I mean, that's something I would never give up. And I've been doing this just for a year, and for this short small amount of time, for so many people to be noticing my work and appreciating it, it does feel really really amazing. And also for the fact that I've met so many other wonderful artists through this particular medium. Like, I never thought I could know people all over the world through an app, I mean, who probably share the same feelings as I do. Like, just they are just basically people who've just started to, venture into art and just are just trying to find their foothold onto it. So definitely it was an amazing experience, and I'm really thankful for them to be featuring me as their artist of the month, and I was thrilled.
So, would you like to tell us if you have any big plans or projects in mind for the future?
I currently I'm actually going through a lot of things. There's a lot going on in my life. I'm also currently studying and I just finished. So right now is the time for contemplation, as in what will be my next step. So this month was exactly that. Also it says the holidays, and we are also eating and sleeping, and it's really cold out here, so it's lethargy. But definitely I have plans to kind of so I already mentor a group of artists, which I just started, which was again something I just wanted to share my work with people. And we are a group of 12, about say 15 to 20 artists who are local around here, who live right around my neighborhood, and we all meet every month and we discuss Madhubani, or we discuss art, and we create something together, which I really liked. And I've also been a teacher. I have taught fashion previously, so I do have a slight educator background. So I am just thinking of whether I want to teach Madhubani, and it's just something that I've been creating in the past year. So I'm just thinking of how to take this to the next level. It's still something that's under a construction, and maybe slowly in the future there will be something for sure.
It actually makes a lot of sense. It was
Yeah.
really fun talking to you, and you had a really new and dynamic way of looking at art and the common everyday things. So, thank you for your time. That's all from my side. And thank you for
Of
being
course,
here.
Shwarya. Thank you so much for having me.